Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Alrighty, folks, welcome here tonight. Getting ready to go green at flag racing for the Loose Lugnuts Tuesday night Throwback Series. Brought to you by Over the Top Designs. Again, we're back here in the booth. Race number 11, 11 of 19 here tonight was originally scheduled for Pocono Raceway, but was originally scheduled at Chicagoland, but due to a setup issue, race moved over here to Pocono, Pennsylvania. Of course, in the booth with me tonight, Rachel Thornhill. Rachel, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You ready for some good racing here tonight from Pocono? I would love to tell you what I expect to see, but I honestly don't know. With the last minute change over to Pocono, Pennsylvania from Chicagoland, it's going to be interesting to what we get here. Victor Barlett on pole as of now, 57.715. Pocono is a big momentum racetrack, Rachel. I'm actually really good here in other cars, but it's the same premise. Get on the brakes early, get the car load down, get off the corner nice and smooth, carry the momentum down the straightaways.
Yeah, with Pocono, I don't know. I've always thought this track is really weird, just the shape of it. And I mean, I don't know how some of these guys feel about this track. I personally don't really like the track, but I mean, I'm really not surprised that Merck is up there towards the top of the board, because obviously he ran pretty well in practice. He was the fastest one out there, so this doesn't surprise me that he'd be in the top three.
Well, keep in mind, Merck also your pole sitter, or your points leader, excuse me, in that number 60 machine. We're going to get a word with him as soon as we wrap up his qualifying lap here in just a moment. Coming in as your points leader again, last year's champion, Mr. Reeves. I don't even know if Reeves is in the show tonight. I don't
see him in here.
So Reeves not even going to make the show here this evening. I know we got a couple of guys out, Reeves being one of them here. So we're going to have, 10, 11 cars maybe make the start here tonight. 25 seconds left in qualifying. Let's talk to the man in charge this evening, Mr. Jeffrey D. Merck. Let's see if we can get him up here from Over the Top Motorsports. Yeah, Jeffrey D. Merck, Matt in the booth. Got a copy?
I do, Mr. Matt. What's up?
Alrighty, man. You're gonna qualify second in that number 60 machine tonight. You come in as our points leader, buddy. It's gonna be a heck of a show here, but we're kind of alone here from Over the Top Motorsports tonight.
Yeah, real life got away for the rest of the team, so I'm pulling the old here by myself routine tonight.
Well, man, for being here by yourself, car looks good. Looking third on the board right now, buddy. Best of luck over the next 45 laps. Definitely going to be interesting here at Pocono.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, Pocono's definitely a driver's track. You got to really mind what you're doing here. The gearing's kind of goofy in this car here for this long of a track, so going to be a lot of shifting tonight, so I think that'll play a part in it as well. So looking forward to try to hang on to this points lead tonight, and hopefully we come out of here with it.
10-4, man. Well, best of luck, Jeffrey Merck, starting from third here tonight. All right, well, Mrs. Thornhill, here we go. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. What to expect, I don't know, but here is our starting lineup. Row number 1, Rob Haynes going to start inside, outside Victor Barlett. Row number 2, Jeffrey D. Merck. Justin Michael starts 4th. Row number 3 tonight, Jack Watts and Andrew Schulte. Row number 4, Ray Richard, Trent Drum. Row number 5, Judd Danielson, John Pansula. Row number 6, Kerry Cleaver and Chris Valls. Row number 7 is going to be empty. So we're going to have 12 cars, Rachel. 45 laps here in Pocono, Pennsylvania. So what do you... I mean, this is going to be nuts, Rachel.
Yeah. And honestly, Rob Haynes came out of nowhere, by getting the pole. I didn't even see him running earlier in practice. So He must have literally came in right before qualifying.
And yeah, so I mean, this is going to be an interesting race, and to be honest, we really don't know what to expect. Like Mr. Merck talked about there in his interview, these cars not geared exactly right for Poconos, so that's going to make a difference. They're going to be shifting quite a bit. 45 laps, not a relatively short race at this racetrack. Let's take a look at this track here. Such a unique racetrack for Pocono, Pennsylvania. Pocono Mountains right now, the Tricky Triangle. It's a 2.5 mile racetrack, but 3 corners. You got 3 distinct corners, no turn 4. On average, we're going to turn 113 miles here tonight. So again, a relatively short race, but a lot can happen in those 113 miles tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, you never know with these races. I mean, we do have a smaller field, so I mean, in a way that can be a good thing. But you still never know with these cars. Also, you know, also depends on like what their pit strategies are going to be. They have 70% fuel and only a 3 tire set limit. So,
well, you don't know what it's going to be. For reference, see Fixed this week. 25 laps here at Pocono, Pennsylvania for C Fixed. I ran that earlier today. That takes roughly, if we go green, 40 minutes for that. We're going to go roughly a little bit longer. But again, these cars may be a little bit quicker, so we will have to see lap time wise. But out of turn number 4, round number 11 of 19 of the Summer Series for the Over the Top Designs Tuesday Night Throwback Week is green as they exit turn number 4 tonight. Green flag, or turn 3, green flag in the air. And there it is. I called turn 3, turn 4 already. At 4 wide, look at them down the front straight away. Rachel already fanning out into turn 1.
yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Rob Haynes. He just did not get the start that I thought he would have, and I mean, he's already fallen back a couple positions.
I'm really not surprised, though. They were able to get fanned out in a hurry. That's something that's unique here, especially down the front straightaway. These cars rocketing by right now. Great race back there. Jeffrey Merck slides back a couple of spots early on to 5th. That's Justin Michael underneath through the tunnel turn. I tell you what, I've been a NASCAR fan for years and years, Rachel. This track can produce some really great racing in certain situations. And it's a very tricky track to run as Victor Barlett off of turn number 3 to take lap number 1. Barlett leads. Everybody else is going to fall in behind him.
Oh, it looked like Justin Michael accidentally kind of rubbed up against the wall right there, trying to get behind Mert.
Yeah, Justin.
So I'm not sure if he got any damage from it. But hopefully not, because if he did, obviously that's right front. That's gonna definitely slow him down.
Yeah, and these cars right now, you take a look here, speed-wise, we're 170, 180 into the tunnel turn. Victor Barlett leading. You talk about that damage on the right side. If you get damage here on that right front quarter panel, it is definitely a bad scenario, bad news for that 17 or 11 Kellogg's machine. And a couple of more as they about got in the fence, but especially for Justin Michael. If you get any sort of damage, car in the outside wall right behind him, Jack Watts. And again, that's the problem. You get right front damage here, it's going to act like a sail and slow that car down dramatically. 3 laps in the books. And here at Pocono, you typically have long green flag runs, and that's kind of what I expect to see here tonight. Danielson back here side by side with Watts. Watts going to fall behind. And it looks like John Pansula did not start this race. Drum.
Yeah, so we currently only have 11 cars on the track at the moment. Since John did not start the race.
Yeah, we got 11 on track. Watts underneath Danielson, the Abruzzi racewear, which I got to get a hold of him. I got to get another pair of gloves. But that's another conversation. They're going to slide back in that 85 machine. Victor Barlett leading the way. I found a great new use for a bruisey gloves there, Rachel. It's called weed eating.
Oh, yeah, instead of using it for racing purposes. But I mean, I guess they could be multi-purpose, right?
Well, they have this. They're cooler on your hands, quite a bit cooler than standard like mechanic gloves. So I got to get another pair because that really helps in the summer.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I mean, anything you can do to stay cool.
Well, right now we're single file down the short chute into the tricky turn number 2, the tunnel turn of this racetrack. First 4 laps already in the books here, Rachel. Right now, Victor Barlett leads, chased by Andrew Schulte, rocking that new Kellogg's inspired paint scheme. Kind of threw me off a little bit, Schulte being in a different paint scheme tonight, but he's going to have Rob Haynes knocking on his back door with Jeffrey D. Merck sitting there in 4th.
You got Ray Richer, on the outside of that's Trent Drum at the moment. Okay, he's able to clear Trent, so now that's moved him up to the 8th position.
Yeah, Trent gonna drop back here. Richard in 8th. 5 complete already, folks. Don't blink, you'll miss it. Barlett leads here at Pocono down the back straightaway to the tunnel turn. Schulte 2nd, Haynes 3rd. This is what we kind of expected to see tonight, strung out racing, and it's already happened here after 5 laps. Merck has slid back a few spots trying to recover. Underneath Haynes, he'll make the move to the bottom. Merck and Haynes just about ready to go side by side through turn number 3 here tonight at Pocono, Pennsylvania.
For some reason, Mark keeps getting kind of loose whenever he comes out of those turns. I guess that's kind of slowing him down.
I wonder what gear they're using, especially out of turn 3 here. That final corner, if they're dropping to 3rd gear and changing it a lot. Because if that's the case, that can definitely get that car loose. If you're transitioning gears coming out of turn number 3 here at Pocono, side by side right there, that's going to be Jeffrey Merck. Rob Haynes going at it for its position into the tunnel turn here tonight. 7 of 45 complete. Right now, Victor Barlett leads Andrew Schulte in 2nd, pulling away from Rob Haynes and Jeffrey D. Merck. They're in the 60 Exxon machine. Merck to the bottom of Rob Haynes, trying to look for position. He'll draw alongside here through turns 3 and 4, or turn 3. Great job carting outside wall. That's going to be Haynes. He'll lose a spot to Jeffrey D. Merck.
So that moves Merck up to 3rd. And I mean, you still got Schulte on the back bumper of Barlett, and he just hasn't really had a chance to try and clear him.
Just sitting up there making him nervous, trying to force Barlett into a mistake here. Still relatively early on here tonight. You still got a long way to go. You can force that car to make a mistake up front in Barlett, letting Schulte by. If that occurs, that would be the opening that Schulte needs. Merck is back to 3rd here. No surprise there. Jeffrey Merck good at saving his equipment. And what an opportunity here for Merck, leading the point standings coming into a race 11 and 19 to expand that lead. And think about what it would mean for Jeffrey D. Merck. Even though I get it, it's the summer series. A lot of the guys here love the winter series. That's their baby. But even in the summertime, able to come out here and grab a summer series championship, that would be huge for Jeffrey Merck, and I think it's attainable. You know, we leave here tonight, we got 8 more races to go. If he can just keep this up right now inside the top 3, Merck really putting on a strong showing at Pocono already. Merck could very easily find himself in championship contention here this year.
Oh, I definitely agree with you. And like you said, with this being the summer series, there's actually less contenders. There's less cars because a lot of people get caught up in, the real life stuff during the summer. And so yeah, Merck definitely has a way of being able to actually, walk away with the championship during the summer series.
Barlett, Schulte, Merck, top three, Haynes, Michael, Watts, Danielson, Richard, Trent Drum, Chris Bowles, and Kerry. There your top 10. The battle for the race lead, tightening up again. Barlett leading, Andrew Schulte in second.
I'm so used to Schulte having the gray and blue color scheme that I forget that that's him behind behind Barlett sometimes.
I know, right? I know it catches you off guard. Schulte sitting right there in P2 trying to hang on. Merck still doing anything he can. Danielson back there as well, taking a look at the 7 spot for Judd Danielson right now. Great run for him.
Yeah, these cars have definitely spread out for the most part. I mean, you've got Barlett, Schulte, Merck, and Haynes pretty much out on their own. And then after that, you've got Justin Michael, who's by himself. Well, you've got Jack Watts and Judd Danielson that are actually coming up on Justin Michael right now.
Yeah, and we've got kind of a little bit of an isolated deal to we're in isolated pockets. We've got some good racing, but again, overall, spread apart. Exactly what you predict here in the Pocono Mountains here. Tricky triangle right now. Justin Michael, Jack Watts, Judd Danielson, Ray Richard, Trent Drum, Chris Walls. That's your top 10 here through the tricky triangles tunnel turn. Down the short chute into turn 3, you see Michael, Watts, and Danielson nose to tail up right there for position. Everybody else starting to get spread out more and more here, Rachel.
Yeah, I did notice Schulte has kind of backed off of Barlett. And another thing too is, I mean, we never talked about that, and I'm not sure, but we don't really know what tires are like here either. So that could be another thing that comes into play, is that some of these guys could be, not trying to run very hard because their tire, it might eat their tires. So.
Well, I'll tell you right there through turn 1, Justin Michael pitched that car in. Back of the car started to come around. He grabbed a hold of it. I know somebody's not saving the right rear right now, and that's Justin Michael right there in that number 87 camp. Really slid that car into turn number 1 last time by.
Yeah, and Justin Michael, like I said earlier, had hit the wall. So I'm not sure if he actually has damage on that car or not, because he's hit the whole wall at least twice. So that could also be part of the problem, when it comes to, his car not working for him right now.
Well, right now as we all set in line here, trying to figure this out, Jeffrey Merck still sitting in third, top 3 starting to come back together. Barlett, now Schulte to the race lead. Schulte has gotten around Barlett as they head into turn number 3. Lead change, Andrew Schulte to the front, Victor Barlett to second. After 12 of 45 complete year through the tunnel turn. Tell you what though, Barlett not letting up on Schulte, trying to get that spot back. Great battle up front right now, folks. 12 of 45 complete. Here, we're unsure on the fuel load here tonight, folks. It's going to be interesting to see how far these cars can go. I tell you what, Rachel, take a look there. Schulte all the way down to the bottom of the front straightaway, trying to break that air off the car behind him.
Yeah, I did notice that. He was able to kind of pull away from Victor for a moment, but Victor's been able to catch up with him on the straightaways.
Yeah, he is. He's coming back to him again, using that draft. That these long straightaways lets that car behind really draft up on the car in front of him, and that's the phenomenon we're seeing right now between these two. And that's not going to let Schulte get away very far.
I'm trying to go back throughout the field, but it looks like we don't really have anybody that's close, to be able to battle. for position. It's really just Schulta and Bartlett and in the and at first and second that are really the only cars that are getting extremely close to each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks like Merc could possibly catch up with Bartlett. He's starting to really catch up with him on the straightaways. It's just once he gets into those turns, they're able to kind of pull away from him.
Yeah, it's very weird how that's happening. You see them work their way through right now. As they work their way, that's Jack Watts setting in 5th. What is going on with our kicker here?
You've got Merck. He just dropped it down to the inside of Bartlett, trying to battle him for that second position. But he ended up backing off because he ended up dropping extremely low.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here as we continue to run here. There we go, our ticker not showing 5th or 10th, so I had to switch it over. Sorry about that, Rachel. But right now, Andrew Schulta continuing to lead right now, doing a great job leading the way at the moment.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if Merck's just having an issue with the car or if it's just tires, but it's like, I don't know, he's having to really back off now. So it might be that his tires are just being eaten up, that he can't
yeah, he just
hold the draft.
He just can't do anything right now. It's kind of weird, actually. 15 complete of 45 here. Merck really starting to slide back here as we continue to run. Chris Balls back here. Kerry, though, pit road right now. 4 tires of fuel for Kerry. Just after 15 laps, one of the first ones in here tonight. And Kerry got some right side damage on that machine. That's going to hurt him. Bartlett now coming under fire from Jeff D. Merck. Merck underneath slides that car for second. Merck just sent that corner, son. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately, it's kind of given Victor the opportunity to get his position back.
Well, I tell you what happened. Merck drove that car in so hard into that tunnel turn to try to take that spot. It had no shot of holding there on exit. Slid that car sideways. And Rachel, I hate to say this, but this may be a one pit stop race. Keep in mind, lap 22 would be halfway here. We ran 17. This might be a one stop race under green.
Yeah, I mean we're not really sure, how far they can go, but yeah, like you mentioned, I mean we're already on lap 17, and yeah, lap 22 would be about halfway. So it could be that some of these guys might be trying to make this a one pit stop thing.
Oh, look at this. Merck putting pressure now to the back bumper of Schulta. Merck moving forward. Whatever happened to that car, he got a hold of it. Now, big run down the front straightaway, drafting off that back bumper of the 11. Tight down through the front straightaway, headed for turn 1. Merck's going to pull out a line. This is going to be a pass. Oh, no, it's not either. Wow, Schulta dove that car down there to keep Merck from getting underneath of him.
Yeah, but it looks like Merck is, I don't know, he got loose right there trying to come back up behind Schulta. So, I mean, we'll have to see if he's able to get right back on Schulta. Yeah, on the straightaways. It just seems like Schulta's kind of was able to pull away from him, like in the turns.
Yeah, this has just been crazy. Whoa.
But now you got Victor right behind Merck.
Wow, this is just absolutely insanity right here. Look at these cars all over one another down the front straightaway here. Man, oh man, they're going to be nearly touching one another here.
Yeah, and then Victor moved over back behind Schulte, so kind of just left Merck out there by himself.
Wow, holy cow, great racing. Victor Barlett, though, able to get back to the top side of Jeffrey D. Merck, trying to look for position this time by. This is just a great race up front. 3 cars under a blanket right now. I do think Merck may have the faster race car here if he can get around him.
Yeah, he was able to get around Victor, but now it's just if he's going to be able to catch up with Schulte, because Schulte has kind of put a gap between him and Merck and Bartlett.
Schulte out front. Schulte out front leading the way right now. Doing a great job in front of Jeffrey Merck. Barlett again led some of the laps earlier on here tonight in the 25. Got past, has never got back to him, and Merck all over the back bumper of Schulte.
Looks like Merck, Merck's trying to go to the inside of Schulte right now.
Here we go, pass for the race lead. Right here. Great move from Merck. He's going to dive underneath. Hang on to it, buddy. Wow.
Yeah, he got way too loose. But he was able to save it. That's the best thing there.
Wow, oh wow, oh wow. He won a save. And guess what, Rachel? We talked about this being a one-stop race. We're about a lap and a half away from being halfway, and here comes Merck to pit road. He's had enough. Now, I have to believe that he'll be able to make it on fuel. 21 laps complete this time by in this run. Let's take a look here where we're going to be setting. 21 laps complete. We got 25 to go. The question is going to be, can he extend the fuel tank run about 4 more laps here to get all the way to the end from right here?
Yeah, and see, that's the only thing. We're not really certain how far they can go on that 70% fuel limit. So, right now we're on lap 21. I think we should try and see how long these other cars stay out, because then that might give us more of an idea of how long they can go on a tank of fuel.
Exactly, and you look at the situation from the time that Merck pitted to when he would have to run was 25 laps. Everybody else now has not stopped. They're working a lap 22 of their stint. Now, what we're going to see here, if they come down and they have 24, 25 in the tank, that tells us that Merck can make it all the way, and it is a one-stop race. And I have a funny suspicion it's going to be, because we're right there on that limit.
Right, and the rest of them haven't came down pit road. So that's why I'm thinking Merck could possibly pull that off. But, we'll have to see. Because, Mark and Carrie are the only 2 that came down pit road so far. Everybody else has chosen to stay out. So, we'll just have to kind of watch everybody else and see what they do.
23 on the board here, Rachel, and what gets me about this whole situation is we're 23 on the board. 23 to go. What does that mean? Well, for everybody up front, we now know they can make it the rest of the way.
You got
from here.
Judd Danielson that just came down, Jack Watts that just came down, Trent Drum. They're all on pit road right now.
The car is coming down pit road here, 4 tires and fuel. We are now officially halfway in this race, folks, from Pocono, Pennsylvania. Been a great start to the race so far. 1 lead change over the first half of this race. It was Victor Barlett lost the lead to Andrew Schulte earlier on in this event. We're continuing to run right now with Schulte out front. Again, 24 now going on the board this time by for Schulte. He'll stay out, and from what I'm seeing, I do think Merck can make it on fuel from his stop way back 2 or so laps ago.
Right. That I think so too. You got Haynes that just moved up into the second position. He took that from Barlett. And they still have not pitted. Judd Danielson on back have all pitted. So you've still got well, Ray Richard is coming down right now. So you've only got the top 4 that have not pitted still. And we're on lap 24.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We're only 24 in here. But keep in mind, this is just a 45 lap race. This is not a long race. Schulte continues to lead, Rachel, and I tell you what, we're now 25 in. These guys could easily make it on fuel like Merck. Yeah, they can make it to the end on one stop.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these guys still have not pitted. We're on lap 25. Well, Victor just came in on pit road, so we've only got Justin Michael, Rob Haynes, and Andrew Schulte. Those are the only 3 that have not pitted yet.
Taking a look here, that's your top 5 here. As we run 25, or after 24 laps, Schulte, Haynes, Michael, Barlett, Balls, right now scored as your top 5 here at the Pocono, Pennsylvania Raceway. What a great race over the first 25, now 26 on the board. And right now up front, it is going to be Andrew Schulte leading with 20 to go next time by from Pocono, Pennsylvania.
You got Rob Haynes that just came down pit road. So I believe we only have 2 that haven't pitted yet. That'd be Justin Michael and Andrew Schulte.
Yeah, now this race is going to take a total different turn. Oh, trouble pit road, Rob Haynes. He did a little Dukes of Hazzard slide into his box, gets it straightened back out pretty quickly there. It's going to hurt him. Could have been a lot worse. But man, that was funny. He did a little slide into his pit box. I know he didn't plan on doing that, but locked the brakes up, slid the car sideways. Justin Michael on track right now in second. Andrew Schulte leading. Again, 26 laps Rachel complete here at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte out front. Folks, we're going to give you a little bit of Crank It Up here on Extreme Sim TV. We're with 19 to go here tonight at Pocono. And trouble for your race leader on the pit road. Justin Michael locks the brakes up, slides the car sideways, enters the pit road, gathered it back up rather quickly, but that is not going to be good for Mr. Justin Michael there, Rachel.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was coming in too fast onto pit road. I could kind of see the car getting loose, and he just wasn't able to hold on to it.
Well, as we cross the stripe to 17 to go this time by, Schulte is going to have a heck of a lead here. He is going to be somewhere about 8 seconds over Jeffrey Merck and Victor Barlett, and he gained every bit of that on pit road with a very quick pit stop of 13.0. Jeffrey Merck was on pit road for 21.9 seconds. in his box. So was Victor Barlett. So, man, I don't exactly know what Andrew Schulta did to pick up that pit lane time, but it paid off for him by about 8 seconds here.
I wonder if he only took 2 tires instead of 4.
It would have to be tires, right? That's the only thing that can gain you that much.
That would be the only thing that would make sense. So Schulta probably only took 2 tires, and everybody else took 4 tires. For it to cut that big.
What's weird though is he is quicker than those guys, but he's only got 2 laps on his tires. So maybe he did take 2, and we'll see if it kind of evens out later on.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make sense with the pit stop times, is that he took 2 tires.
As we continue to run right now, fighting our way through. What a great race so far tonight.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's definitely different. Luckily we haven't had any cautions so far. Schulta was slowing down quite a bit right there in the turn, so I'm not sure if something happened or.
I'm not showing too bad of a slowdown. If anything, he's actually pulling away 10.0 seconds over Jeffrey Merck right now. That lead is growing, and the only battle on the racetrack right now is for second. We will have, this is going to be a late wait and see. Does this pan out for Schulta? That's the $1 million question, and he's got a 9.9 second lead over this battle for second with 15 to go. And as the SRX calls it there, Rachel, I wouldn't mind seeing a fun flag right about now.
Yeah, no, I agree. It'll break things up a little bit.
Yeah, because right now, Schulta has such a lead here, and if he didn't take 2 tires, I don't know how he done that.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking he had to have taken 2 tires, because that would be the only thing that makes sense with that pit stop time, because everyone else was pretty much, within the 20s. With him being like, 14? Yeah, that's really low, so I had a feeling it was probably because he took 2 tires.
But what is confusing me about that, your conventional knowledge tells you 4 tires are faster than 2, but for the last few lap times, Andrew was faster. Now it's starting to swing back the other way, but is it swinging back too late? Last time by, it was a 58.936 for Schulta. This little group here was a 58.734. Again, a 58.936 for Schulta last time. So again, these guys are closing, but is it going to be quick enough in 15 laps to get them there?
Yeah, see, that's the only issue. I don't know. With this being a 2.5 mile track, I don't know if they'll have enough time to close that gap. That's gonna be really iffy. It really depends on if Schulta ends up having any issues or starts to really slow down.
Yeah, because right now they're less than about 2/10 a lap, and that's not going to be enough to get there in 14 laps. They had in 10 laps they would have to be within a second of them, and that's just not going to happen. The gap's still 9.63. Man, oh man, did Schulta play the great strategy here tonight? We're keeping an eye on this battle for second, because as of now, that's literally the only battle on the racetrack.
Yeah, everybody else is pretty much spread out. But you've got Mark and Barlett pretty much battling for second.
12 to go this time by here at Pocono Raceway. And I tell you what, I just get this funny feeling that Andrew Schulta just snookered them all.
Yeah, I don't know. Schulta was somehow able to really use his pit strategy to his advantage. I personally didn't know that if Schulta was going to be able to really pull it off because of how late he pitted. But he was still able to keep a large enough gap between him and Merck to where him pitting that late didn't really affect him.
I kind of wonder if he didn't have to take a full tank there. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's not tires. I'm thinking it's fuel. I'm wondering if he only had to take X amount of fuel compared to everybody else.
That could be part of it. Also, another thing too is we also don't know how hard Schulte was running either. So some of his tires, like the 2 tires that he might not have taken, he could have actually conserved enough to where they didn't have very much wear on them. So if you take that into consideration plus the amount of fuel, I think he just had the perfect strategy and it worked to his advantage.
Meanwhile, lap traffic here in second. It's going to be Merck leading away for Victor Barlett to get by. Judd Danielson going a lap down right here. Meanwhile, up in his own zip code, Andrew Schulte continuing to lead by 9.1 seconds. The gap is shrinking, but nowhere near fast enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're still way too far back. And then also with them now running into lap traffic, that'll definitely, slow them down even more.
Yeah, my only question here with 11 to go this time by, did Schulte get enough fuel on board if he did take less fuel? Right? That would be your concern, making sure you have enough on board or tire on board to make this work. With an 8.9 second lead, you've got enough leadway. You can kind of put your poker face on and just let the car roll through the corner and kind of roll through this.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we don't really know what Schulte did. So, he's definitely going to have to try and save his stuff as much as possible if he's going to make it to the end on, a possible maybe when it comes to like either tires or fuel.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting question as this thing comes down to 10 to go. Man, oh man, 9 to go this time by. Well, Rachel, this is not how we envisioned this thing to go.
No, I mean, this is definitely a totally different race from, what we're used to seeing. Schulte obviously has completely checked out. I mean, I don't see, unless somehow, some way, there ends up being a caution. That would be the only way I could see Merck and Barlett getting up there towards the front.
8.2 still the gap. We're still kind of hovering around that 8-second mark with 8 laps to go. Andrew Schulte and the Cornflakes Kellogg's machine on a roll down the back short chute, headed for turn 3 here at Pocono, Pennsylvania. And again, when we leave here, we'll have 8 races left in the season there, Rachel. The season winded down here for Overtop Designs Tuesday Night Throwback Series. Well,
I'm just trying to go through the rest of the field just to see if there's anything going on, but it just looks like, I mean, everyone's spread out. You've only got 8 cars on the lead lap, and I mean, Mark has cut down the gap a little bit, about 7.9 seconds, but that's still not enough for him to catch up with Schulte.
Yeah, Schultz has kind of got this thing on lock. If he just keeps this Chevrolet clean and runs it clean here and just makes sure he has enough fuel to last him to the end, Schultz has played the biggest win strategy of them all here tonight. Here we go, green flag in the air, 6 laps to go this time by. Six to go this time by. Field kind of spread apart. 7.8 is the gap here, Rachel. Still not closing here.
Right, yeah, I'm seeing that, and Barlett's still not able to really get a good enough run on Mert to be able to try and battle him for that second position.
Not at all. 6 to go this time by. Everybody hanging on right now. Fighting their way through that short to front. Jeffrey Merck second. Victor Barlett third. Rob Haynes in fourth right now. So 6 laps to go. 7 seconds is your gap. Merck and Barlett still nose to tail. Kind of crazy that these two have been so much nose to tail back here in this line down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Mark and Barlett have pretty much been the only ones really close enough to have any type of battle on the track at the moment. I don't know. There's been some. I've noticed maybe Barlett's maybe having some issues with the car, because I do notice like he's able to catch Merck on the straightaways, but then sometimes in the turns it just seems like he gets loose, and then he just, the gap just gets bigger. And then he's kind of having to run a little bit hard to run Merck down. So.
Yeah, and with 5 to go, you're just burning everything you got up trying to make this work here tonight, folks. And what a crazy run we're seeing here tonight. Schultz still up front. It's Victor Barlett, Jeffrey Merck right there as well. With 5 to go, Schultz well on his way to yet another win here at Pocono if we don't see a yellow.
Well, Barlett was able to move up into that second position. Merck went up really high, and unfortunately that kind of slowed him down, and so Barlett was able to come down, to the bottom of the track and get around him.
Yeah, they continue to run right now, nose to tail. 4 laps to go this time by. Rob Haynes back here, Jack Watts, Justin Michael back here in the pack, trying to hang on to it. Ray Richard to the back bumper of Justin Michael here. Battle for 6th and 7th on the racetrack. To the bottom, Ray Richard goes. Here he goes at 44. Bruisey Machine will take that spot, move Justin Michael into 7th. Ray Richard into 6th. Great battle here for 6th and 7th on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Michael's on the back bumper of Ray Richard right now, and he's trying to take the high side, but he just did not have enough momentum to really get past Richard on that one.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the one guy on the racetrack that does not want to see these two get together is Andrew Schultz right now. With 3 laps to go, he's like, just don't wreck each other. The next thing Schultz wants to see is that white flag.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still battling it out here. Looked like Justin Michael kind of checked up though. I know it looked like he was having issues with the car. Oh, and he kind of got loose right there.
Oh, man, he is all over the rear deck lid of Ray Richard. I'm glad Schultz can't see what's going on back here, because he would be losing his mind right now.
Right, yeah, because I mean, if they get too close and cause a caution, I'm sure Schulte is not going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, Schulte should be coming to 2 to go up front. Get battle right now between Victor Barlett. Jeff Merck going to pick up again as well. That is going to be up near the front. Meanwhile, we got cars sideways back here.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ray Richard was able to save it, but that was a close one.
Oh, Richard going to drive it in deep, 2 to go. Andrew Schulte just wanting to see the white flag and these guys not wreck before he gets to it. That's his hope here tonight. Schulte out front. Richard and Michael has been going at it here for 7th and 6th position. Trent Drum in 12th in that number 12 machine. Right in the mix as well, about 17 seconds back. Meanwhile, out front in La La Land, Andrew Schulte comes off of turn 4. He'll see the white flag wave at Pocono. Now, Schulte doesn't have to worry about a caution. He takes the white flag here at Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it looks like Richard and Michael have they kind of slacked off a little bit. I mean, just in time for Schulte to take that white flag. So I think he's good for now.
Meanwhile, the race is on here for second. Barlett and Merck side by side down the back straightaway into the tunnel turn. These two not done yet. Side by side, Merck gonna grab the spot back off of turn number 2. Jeffrey Merck back to second. Meanwhile, out front, out of turn number 4, Andrew Schulte comes to the start-finish line.
Ray Richard just...
Oh, we got problems. It's Ray Richard down here in turn number 1. Take a look here what happened to Ray. Something happened here with Ray Richard. Just got a little loose out of the turn number 1, down against the wall, but it's not going to matter. Checkered flag will fly for Andrew Schulte here tonight. What a great strategy Andrew employed. Well, look at that, Rachel. 34 laps led by Andrew Schulte.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive.
Well, we'll get ready to talk to your race leader, Andrew Schulte, coming away with the checkered flag here tonight from the Pocono Raceway. He's going to whoop it, do a little donut down here. Oh, he got the wall. He just about didn't get it, but he got it. Let's see if we can get him up here and talk with him. Schulte, great run for him. I'm just impressed there, and Schulte did a great job. Hey, Andrew, buddy, it's Matt up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man, you played a little bit of pit strategy, got the car up front, held it up there all the way through to come to victory lane at Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were battling pretty good with Merck and Victor there in the first run, and was trying to take care of the tires, also trying to race them as hard as I could, and saw Merck had taken 4 tires, and I was like, well, you know, sometimes you gotta gamble and see what happens. I was either gonna win or I wasn't. I was gonna run the tires off them, and you know, we had about a 9-second lead, I think, coming out of the pit, and about the end of the race was somewhere around 7 seconds. So they closed a little bit. I was kind of watching that and seeing how much they were closing the gap by, and just trying to maintain and keep the tires on her.
Well, you did a great job, buddy. Played the strategy, got the win here tonight. Andrew, congratulations. Anybody you'd like to thank here tonight?
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you for broadcasting this. Hopefully people out there watching enjoyed it. I know we didn't have any cautions, but I hope the racing was interesting elsewhere, or throughout the pack. I hope there was good racing there, and shout out to Bandit Motorsports teammates and Mitch for putting this on. And I know he's not here this week, but shout out to him and everyone else that keeps us running here.
10-4, man. Well, congratulations, Andrew Schulte. Victory lane here tonight. 34 laps led, buddy. All right, let's see. Let's get Jeffrey Merck up here. Hey, Mr. Merck, got a copy? Mr. Murky, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, you got me?
10-4, buddy. Well, P2 here tonight. Good run.
Yeah, I'm happy with P2. I forgot about the damn tires when they redid the last build, that you can go back to just taking 2 again. Schulte played it smart, remembered it, took 2 tires, and he wasn't nobody going to make up that kind of ground on him.
The tires just seem to be holding up way too well, to be honest.
Yeah, it was that way last week too. Like I said, I just forgot about it. Schulte didn't, and it got him the win.
Well, man, you did a good job coming in second here tonight. Good way to extend your point lead a little bit.
Yeah, I'm more points racing now than anything anyway, because 2 of the guys I'm battling with, Randy and Mitchell, neither one of them made the race tonight. So I think it'll be a good points night for me. Hopefully stretch that lead out a little more. One more race closer to the big trophy, hopefully.
10-4, man. One race at a time. Take her one at a time there, Mr. Merck.
Yeah, big shout out to the wife in there watching the broadcast. Schulte, all the guys that showed up tonight. We had a pretty good turnout for Pocono. All my teammates, Ronald Klein, Mitchell Reeves, John Hendrick. Brandon Thornhill, I know he's working on RV tonight, trying to get ready for real racing, so he couldn't make the race. Extreme TV, Mr. Matt up there in the booth, you always do a bang-up job. Always look forward to going back and watching the race. So big shout-out to Schulte, big shout-out to Victor Bartlett there. It was good, clean racing.
Well, good job, Mr. Merck, coming home second here tonight, buddy, extending that points lead.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, we'll get Mr. Bartlett up here. Victor Bartlett, Matt in the booth, got a copy.
10-4.
All righty, man. You and Mr. Merck battled it out for felt like forever. Come home third. Good run overall.
Yeah, I think first, congratulate Andrew. That was a smart move there, taking 2 tires. I was a little concerned with the tire wear that we were experiencing last week with the new model, that if we took 2, it wouldn't work. But that was a smart move by him, so congratulations to Andrew. But yeah, it was fun. Jeffrey and I were battling it out. He got me towards the end. Unfortunately, I had a little screen glitch and caught me off guard, so it threw me off a little bit. But that was fun. Fun battle up there, the 3 of us before the pit stop. So hope I gave everybody a little excitement.
Well, man, it was fun to watch. You had a great top 3 finish for you, Victor. Great job battling out with Merck basically all night. Again, coming home P3, and again that new tire model catching some guys off guard tonight.
Yep, sure did.
Alrighty, man. Anybody like to thank?
Yeah, thank the good Lord.
10-4, buddy. Well, congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we'll see you next week, Victor. Congrats, buddy. Alrighty, Rachel, any final thoughts?
I mean, this was a really good race. Congrats to everybody. Schulte, Merck, and Barlett.